Be me. I'm a senior shift manager at Omni Parcel Solutions, one of the biggest package delivery companies in the country. My domain is the last mile dispatch for our Portsmouth Point regional hub. This means I oversee the final, critical leg of every single package's journey from our massive sorting facility into the hands of the customer. It's a high-stakes, high-pressure job, especially during the holiday rush, and it demands precision, local knowledge, and an experienced team. I live by the rulebook, not because I'm a stickler, but because that book represents years of accumulated wisdom on how to avoid absolute chaos. Be not me. Brenda, our new regional operations director. She was parachuted in from corporate, a restructuring expert with a gleaming business school degree and absolutely zero practical experience with the gritty reality of logistics. She saw spreadsheets, not packages. She saw numbers, not the faces of the exhausted drivers or the frustrated customers. She viewed the entire operation as a series of inefficiencies waiting to be optimized, usually by cutting corners and people. Brenda's arrival was like a subtle, creeping mold. First, it was the small things. She introduced mandatory activity logs for all bathroom breaks, demanding a doctor's note for anything over 5 minutes. My team, who were already pushing themselves to hit unrealistic delivery targets, felt infantilized and distrusted. Morale plummeted faster than a package dropped from a drone. "This is about accountability, Marcus," she'd chirp, standing in the middle of the bustling dispatch floor, oblivious to the fact that her presence alone disrupted the delicate rhythm of our operations. "Every second counts." I just nodded, a stone face, while inside I seethed. The company handbook clearly stated guidelines for employee breaks and dignity. Her directive was in direct violation, but it was just a verbal order, easy to deny later. Then came the safety protocols. Omni Parcel Solutions prided itself on its safety record, especially concerning vehicle load limits and driver rest periods. We had strict procedures for ensuring vans were not overloaded, preventing breakdowns and accidents. Brenda, however, decided these were unnecessary bottlenecks. She started demanding that drivers take on more packages than their vehicles were rated for, citing delivery quotas. "Just stack them higher, people," she declared in a morning briefing, pointing at a projected image of a heavily overloaded van that would have immediately failed any safety inspection. "Efficiency means maximizing every inch of available space. We are not a charity for underutilized cargo bays." My objections, citing federal transport regulations and our own corporate safety guidelines, were waved away as resistance to innovation. She emailed a revised loading protocol that was laughably vague and contradicted everything we knew. I immediately saved a copy of the original protocols and archived her email. Her innovations extended to our routing system. Our last mile team had decades of collective experience navigating Portsmouth Point's labyrinthine streets. They knew about construction delays before they happened, knew which alleys were shortcuts, and which were dead ends. Brenda, from her air-conditioned office on the 9th floor, decided she knew better. She implemented a new, AI-driven smart route algorithm that she'd purchased from a startup, without any real-world testing or pilot program. This algorithm would generate what she claimed were optimal routes, but which frequently sent our drivers down one-way streets in the wrong direction, routed them through school zones during pickup times, or even took them on 10-mile detours to deliver a package just 2 blocks away. The drivers wasted fuel, time, and their patience. Each day, the system caused more chaos than it solved. I consistently logged the driver complaints and the system's errors, sending them up the chain, only to be met with Brenda's dismissive teething issues email replies. Each of her replies, of course, was also saved. My internal log, started years ago, was growing into a weapon. The breaking point arrived with a chilling corporate email, delivered just 3 weeks before the start of our critical holiday peak season, the busiest period of the year. The subject line read, "Strategic restructuring of last mile operations." My stomach dropped. Brenda had convinced upper management that my entire last mile dispatch team of 5 highly experienced individuals was an unnecessary expenditure. She argued that their collective salaries could be saved by consolidating their tasks under a single, competent manager and relying solely on her new AI-driven smart route algorithm. The email announced their immediate termination, effective that very day. My team, loyal and dedicated for years, was summarily escorted out, their faces a mix of shock and betrayal. Brenda then called me into her office, a smug grin plastered across her face. "Marcus, this is your opportunity to shine," she began, gesturing grandly at a whiteboard covered with incomprehensible flowcharts. "You'll be managing the entire last-mile operation solo. With the smart route algorithm handling all the complex logistics, your role will be streamlined. It's a promotion, really more responsibility. And of course, no pay increase because of the cost-saving initiative." She continued, "The AI is foolproof. It's the future. Any issues during the peak season will clearly be a failure of human execution, not the system. You'll be solely responsible for ensuring smooth operations, Marcus. Don't disappoint me." She made sure to put that in a recorded Zoom meeting, which I, of course, recorded on my end. This was it. This was the catastrophic management decision, based on a combination of extreme arrogance and ignorance that would trigger the real-world failure. My internal monologue shifted from annoyance to cold, calculated precision. "Smooth operations," she said. I stared back, my face unreadable. "Of course, Brenda. I understand my responsibilities completely." The words tasted like ash, but my mind was already racing, cataloging, planning. This wasn't just malicious compliance. This was a surgical strike. This was war, fought with policies, timestamps, and paper trails. I went into full read-only mode. Every single email from Brenda was immediately archived, with a tag for order regarding last-mile operations. Every verbal instruction she gave me, no matter how minor, was followed up with a polite, professional email summarizing our conversation and asking for confirmation. "To ensure I fully understand your directives, Brenda, please confirm that I am too." This created an irrefutable chain of command. Her replies, confirming her increasingly absurd and impossible demands, were my golden tickets. I dug deep into the Omni Parcel Solutions Employee Handbook. Chapter 7, Section 3, Subsection B. Minimum staffing requirements for regional hub dispatch during peak season. It clearly stated a minimum of 4 dispatchers plus a senior manager for the Portsmouth Point hub, especially given its volume. Brenda's directive meant I was operating at 20% of the mandated staffing. I cross-referenced this with the company's official peak season operational readiness guidelines, a document Brenda had explicitly dismissed as outdated. I saved both. I also reviewed my own job description, which outlined my duties as a senior manager, supervising a team, not performing the tasks of 5 people. Then I looked at the contract for the AI-driven smart route algorithm. It stipulated a mandatory 3-month pilot program before full deployment, followed by an independent performance audit. Brenda had bypassed all of this, greenlighting it directly. I found the clauses outlining system reliability guarantees and failure indemnities. The developers had clauses about proper user training and system integration, none of which had happened. My desk became a fortress of documentation. Digital folders labeled Brenda directives, system errors, policy violations, and official guidelines. Every driver complaint, every missed delivery deadline, every system crash report from the smart route algorithm was meticulously logged, dated, and timestamped. I even set up an anonymous email drop for drivers to report issues directly to me without fear of reprisal, guaranteeing a steady stream of ground-level intel, all of which was dutifully recorded. I had a full audit trail. I wasn't just documenting. I was building a case, brick by painful brick. The holiday peak season began like a slow-motion train wreck. The smart route algorithm, untethered from human oversight and the collective experience of a dispatch team, became a chaotic nightmare. It routed heavy vans down residential cul-de-sacs with no turnarounds, sent drivers to non-existent addresses, and created delivery zones that were geographically impossible to complete within a single shift. Drivers, already pushed to their limits by the increased volume, were now breaking down, quitting, or simply refusing to follow the nonsensical routes. Packages piled up, Thousands of them. The last mile became the lost mile. Customer service lines at Omni Parcel Solutions were jammed. Social media exploded with complaints of missed deliveries, ruined holidays, and lost precious cargo. News vans started showing up at the Portsmouth Point hub entrance. The catastrophic failure was in full swing, exactly as predicted. Brenda, of course, stormed onto the dispatch floor, her face a mask of furious indignation. "Marcus, what is the meaning of this disaster? These numbers are appalling. Are you even doing your job?" she shrieked, her voice echoing in the suddenly silent room. The few remaining support staff and a couple of drivers who hadn't quit yet froze, watching. I met her gaze, calm and unblinking. "Brenda, I am following every one of your directives precisely," I stated, my voice level. "As per your email of November 1st, I am operating as the sole last mile dispatcher. As per your memo of November 5th, I am relying exclusively on the AI-driven smart route algorithm you implemented. And as per your multiple verbal instructions, I am maximizing package volume beyond safety recommendations." Her face went pale. "Don't you dare try to pin this on me. This is your department, Marcus, your failure," she stammered, pointing a trembling finger at me. "Is it?" I asked, a slight tilt to my head. "Because I have here." I opened a neatly organized binder. "Every single email confirmation of your orders. Each one dismissing my concerns, overriding safety protocols, and mandating the use of the untested AI system. Here," I pushed a tab, "are the time-stamped logs of every system error from the smart route algorithm, along with the corresponding driver complaints, all of which I forwarded to you with no response as per these archived emails." I continued, flipping to another section. "And here is Omni Parcel's official minimum staffing requirements for regional hub dispatch during peak season, clearly stating a requirement for 5 dispatchers for this hub. And here," I tapped a final page, "is your email confirming the termination of my entire team, mandating I perform all tasks solo, 3 weeks before our busiest season." I looked around at the silent, watching faces. I simply followed orders, maliciously perhaps, but diligently. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. Within hours, a phalanx of corporate lawyers descended upon Portsmouth Point. The local news had a field day, broadcasting the mountain of undelivered packages and interviewing furious customers. The city council, facing immense public pressure, launched an investigation into Omni Parcel's operational negligence. Brenda was summarily escorted out of the building by security, her face blotchy with tears and outrage, her boxes packed by someone else. She was fired for gross negligence and insubordination, with the company making it clear they were exploring further legal action for the massive financial losses and reputational damage she had caused. My meticulously documented paper trail was airtight, absolving me and implicating her in every single disastrous decision. Update: it's been a few weeks. The dust is still settling, but the aftermath is clear. Omni Parcel Solutions is in full crisis management mode, issuing apologies and compensation. They've reinstated my entire former team with raises and are actively recruiting more experienced dispatchers. They even offered me a substantial bonus and a promotion to Regional Logistics Coordinator, a position with actual authority and, more importantly, no Brenda. I accepted, of course. Update 2, about 2 months now. Omni Parcel is slowly recovering its reputation, but the damage was severe. Brenda, from what I hear through the corporate grapevine, is unemployable. Her name is mud in the logistics world. She tried applying for a few senior roles at smaller firms, but her spectacular failure at Omni Parcel Solutions, specifically the part about costing the company tens of millions during peak season, preceded her. Her gleaming business school degree now looks like a scarlet letter. Update 3, 6 months on. Brenda's fate has finally solidified. Omni Parcel Solutions successfully sued her for a significant portion of the losses incurred. Not enough to bankrupt her, but enough to take away her considerable severance package and force her to sell her luxury apartment. Last I heard, she's working as an efficiency consultant for a struggling local car wash, reportedly trying to implement mandatory doctor's notes for employees' sponge drying breaks. Some people never learn. My packages are all on time, though.